What's going on, guys? It's CryptoDave here at Top Tier Signals, and in this video I want to establish a thesis that altcoin season is right around the corner, and I think that we are on the cusp of seeing a massive expansion for the altcoin market. Now, the first thing I want to note is that Bitcoin is absolutely soaring. We have broken to new all-time highs decisively, leaving the $70,000 territory in the dust. We are now currently trading at around $88,000 for Bitcoin. And the reason that this is so significant is because altcoins tend to do the best when Bitcoin is already well into price discovery. You'll notice in our last cycle, Bitcoin dominance actually peaked this Monday, December 28th, 2020 candle. This was when Bitcoin had the highest market share over that cycle. And I've highlighted the same exact weekly candlestick here on the USD chart. And what you're gonna notice here is that Bitcoin was in its third week since decisively breaking to new all-time highs. So we had a previous all-time high right around $19,000, $20,000. We decisively broke out, traded into price discovery for a few weeks, and this was the turning point for altcoins. So it wasn't at the beginning of the bull market, it wasn't when things were turning around, it was when Bitcoin had confidently established a newfound price discovery. It was setting all-time highs, it was moving very quickly. Once most of that move had been completed for Bitcoin, that is when that capital started to trickle down into altcoins. And you guys may or may not have seen this before. This is a natural flow of capital within crypto. The volume tends to come first with Bitcoin and some of the majors like Ethereum and Solana, and it slowly trickles its way down through the market cap. So it's going to go into the large caps, then into the mid caps, and then into those small cap and micro cap coins. So naturally, the volume is starting with Bitcoin. We can see that we have finally decisively broken out to new all-time highs after about 7 or 8 months of a cool down correctional period in crypto. Of course, we did set in an official all-time high back in March of 2024, but nothing about that was actual true price discovery. We are now entering price discovery. This is the second week of price discovery. So it's my thesis that in the next couple of weeks, we will see that trend break down for Bitcoin dominance. We will get the back test, and ultimately altcoins will steal the show very quickly. This is not a gradual process, as is the way with Bitcoin gaining the market dominance. It is very, very sudden that Bitcoin will lose that market dominance. So I would estimate in the next couple of weeks, we will see the Bitcoin dominance have its actual peak, and we will be well into the beginning of a new altcoin season. So it's very exciting stuff. Let's go ahead and switch over to some different charts. Not only is Bitcoin's price discovery going to aid the altcoin market, but we can also check on the others ticker. This takes the market cap of all cryptocurrencies and it subtracts the top 10 cryptocurrencies. So it gives you a true picture of sort of the alternative cryptocurrency market, the true altcoins, if you would say. And we have done some very nice things here on this daily time frame. Of course, we had about a 6 or 7 month downtrend where we're constantly establishing lower high, lower low, lower high, so on and so forth, where altcoins simply cannot catch a break. Eventually, we stick in our first higher low, our first higher high, and then from there we have gotten a second higher low and a second higher high. So clearly the market structure has shifted from bearish to bullish. We broke a long-term descending line of resistance. We've broken out of a flat level of resistance right around that $232 billion mark. So everything on the daily time frame looks very good for the others ticker. And this is another reason to believe that altcoins are primed for a nice, healthy wave of upside here in the coming months. Now, beyond the others ticker looking good, we could also check some major Bitcoin pairings such as the ETHBTC ratio. We've come down after about a 2-year downtrend to this 0.03 level. This was a level that acted as resistance several times, and we are now testing it as support. This would be a huge level for Ethereum to finally start to outperform Bitcoin and find that momentum that it's been lagging for about 2 years. I think we have a good chance to do this, seeing as we are coming down to such a strong level of previous resistance. We anticipate that this would act as support, and of course a major bounce from here would mean that Ethereum is outperforming. So we're going to want to look for stuff like that. We want to check these Bitcoin pairs of the altcoins that we're assessing to make sure that there is some sort of healthy uptrend, some sort of strong level of demand that you can buy. We don't want to be buying altcoins that are just bleeding out. They have no level of support that they're currently testing. There's no discernible trend. We need to make sure that we are picking altcoins that have a strong Bitcoin pairing. Now, admittedly, Ethereum has not had a very strong Bitcoin pairing, but we are coming down once again to a very strong level that we would anticipate could serve as a bottom for ETHBTC. So you're looking for Bitcoin ratios that have either potentially bottomed, or you're looking for Bitcoin ratios that are already very healthy. Now, shifting the focus back to others, if you divide others by Bitcoin's total market cap, you can gauge the performance of the other tickers in the market versus Bitcoin. And you'll notice something interesting. We have a very clear level of confluence right around that 0.15 mark. We've seen resistance and support several times throughout history, and we are seeing it once again. We've actually deviated below this level, but we're forming some nice bullish divergence where the RSI is sticking in higher lows and the price is sticking in lower lows. And so generally this is seen as the bears losing momentum as they are trying to push price downward. It usually results in a nice sharp trend reversal. And we can just see that there's several different moderate targets taking you all the way back to the all-time high of this ratio, where you could have an 85% move against Bitcoin, a 140% move against Bitcoin, or even a full-blown 243% move back to the all-time high figure of this ratio. Guys, I think that altcoins have a ton of room to run against Bitcoin, and I think it's just a matter of a couple of weeks before we see that trend truly shift. We can see it with ETHBTC, we can see it with others BTC, we can see it with Bitcoin dominance. We can even see it with some data science models that we'll look at here in a second. I think alts are primed for a really, really good quarter or so of price action. And we noted this for quite some time on the channel, that if you had some capital on the sidelines, you had a really good opportunity to dollar cost average some bags, while other folks are now just trying to find their exposure. And this is where you get those intense waves of FOMO. You have people who are sidelined because they're bearish, price starts to go up. They're thinking, okay, well, I'll just wait for a bid. Surely there's going to be a correction. Ultimately, that bid does not come, and therefore they are forced to try to find their exposure where they can. This is where you create these cycles of FOMO. This is why the price appreciation process with altcoins especially is very quick, because of that general flow of sentiment. So guys, if you were accumulating altcoins over the past 2 months, like we've tried to instruct on the channel, you were probably sitting in a really, really comfortable spot. And I don't think it's too late, not at all. I think if you just look at this ratio alone, others to BTC, you can see that there is plenty of time, there's plenty of room to capitalize on some altcoins that are likely to outperform Bitcoin. But again, guys, we've been tracking this on the channel, so it's a very exciting thing when you finally start to see those things working in the right direction. Now, the last thing I'll leave you with, of course, is the altcoin season index that we've looked at extensively here on the channel. This is going to take the top 50 cryptocurrencies and compare its performance to Bitcoin. It's going to show us the percentage of those cryptocurrencies that are outperforming Bitcoin. So as we can see, 35% of the top 50 cryptocurrencies are outperforming Bitcoin over the last 90 days. They also have the year and the monthly index. Both of those are favorable as well. And as we noted a couple of weeks ago, we saw the data science model below the 25% mark. That's usually the most optimal time to stack those bags, which was a big reason that we've been promoting the dollar cost average approach for the past couple of months. And we are still sitting pretty low, right around that 35% mark. So I would be watching this altcoin season index. This is going to track over 90 days. And so when we get up to that 75% mark or even higher, that is where offloading those altcoins and taking those profits is going to be a very, very crucial practice. So guys, there's not much else to cover here for this weekly update. Bitcoin is doing fantastic. I think altcoins are primed to catch up and then begin to outpace. So if you've been accumulating altcoins, I know you got to be happy. I'm happy. Let me know down in the comments what altcoins you've been accumulating. Let me know how your portfolio is doing amid all this bullish price action. And guys, until the next video, I will catch you all in the Discord. Peace.